From Illinois Public Media News, this is 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. It's Tuesday, September 3rd. Coming up, we'll learn more about the disappearance of 25-year-old Illinois State grad student Jelani Day. That story in just a few minutes, but first, these headlines. Members of unions marched through downtown Champaign as part of yesterday's Labor Day celebrations. The participants included teachers, firefighters, ironworkers, and education associations. Chuck Black is a member with Ironworkers Local 380.
Labor unions are very, very relevant today. Like I say, it creates a positive work environment, a safe work environment, and a fair living wage.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Illinois had 708,000 union members as of last year. Investigators are trying to find out what started an apartment fire in Urbana that displaced residents. Urbana Fire responded to smoke pouring out a second-floor unit along East Harding yesterday afternoon. Firefighters rescued a resident on the first floor who was uninjured. People living in 3 other units have been relocated because their apartments are not safe to stay in. And Champaign Fire says a commercial dryer caught fire at the I Hotel and Conference Center on Sunday evening. The fire prompted an Illini alert. Crews quickly brought the fire under control, and no employees or guests were hurt. A sheriff's deputy from Indiana is in an Urbana hospital after a police pursuit ended in an exchange of gunfire. The Illinois State Police says it happened Sunday night. Deputies from Iroquois County were in pursuit of an armed suspect with a hostage. The chase briefly went into Newton County, Indiana, and then came back to the village of Sheldon, where the suspect crashed. Officers say shots were fired after the suspect exited his vehicle. 37-year-old Andrew Roselius of Clifton died at the scene. Corporal Brandon Schreiber of the Newton County, Indiana Sheriff's Department was also struck by gunfire. WAND-TV reports he was transported to the Carl Trauma Center in Urbana, where he remains in critical condition. Schreiber is a 5-year veteran, and his department asked for prayers last night. Illinois State Police is leading the investigation into the incident. The University of Illinois is unique in that it's pursuing mob action felonies against this spring's pro-Palestine demonstrators, according to the American Civil Liberties Union.
No, we're not seeing the mob action bill or the mob action charge used anywhere else.
University spokesperson Robin Kaler says the Champaign County State's Attorney decided the charges. State's Attorney Julia Reitz was not available for comment. In the past, she told IPM News protests can carry mob action charges when law enforcement tells the protesters their actions are against policy and protesters respond in a way that disturbs the peace or could put people in danger. A new Illinois law mandates all school staff receive training on how to identify and support homeless students. Peter Medlin has more.
Jimmy Pavola is a homeless liaison with the Kane County Regional Office of Education. He conducts a lot of these trainings already with administrators and truancy workers who do home visits, but this new law solidifies that everyone in a school needs to know the warning signs of housing insecurity.
If a family's having a hard time proving residency, or they're having a hard time, providing birth certificates, immunization records, things of that nature, that should all be a red flag.
He says from there, they can help students receive services they're legally entitled to. They can help with anything from school supplies to paying for school trips or even gas cards for families. School staff will need to receive the training every 2 years. Last school year, Pavola says they served just over 3,300 homeless students in Kane County, and those numbers keep going up. I'm Peter Medlin.
Still to come, we'll learn more about the disappearance of 25-year-old Illinois State grad student Jelani Day. That story is coming up next on 217 Today.
Next time on the 21st show, the Invisible Institute is a nonprofit Illinois-based news organization that recently won a number of journalism's most prestigious awards, including a Peabody and 2 Pulitzer Prizes. We'll talk with the reporters behind several of their award-winning stories. I'm Brian Mackey. That's next time on the 21st show. Join us.
You're listening to 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. 3 years ago, 25-year-old Illinois State grad student Jelani Day vanished. Days later, the Danville native's car was discovered 60 miles north of ISU in Peru, Illinois. Weeks later, his remains were recovered from the Illinois River. Recently, Brian Mackey of the 21st Show talked with Jelani's older sister, Dakara, about how their family is still looking for answers in Jelani's disappearance and death.
Jelani was somebody that would always catch your eye. Jelani was super nice. My brother had so many dreams and aspirations in life. He was going places. He was just very positive, just very, very much wanting to live and just, be the great person that he is.
So Jelani was at Illinois State University. He was studying speech pathology. Why was that important to him?
Growing up, he had a friend. I don't know if you heard a story about, his name is Paul, and Paul had a speech impediment. And Jelani was one of Paul's friends that would always stand up for him when people used to either make fun of Paul or mess with him with the way that he spoke. And that's always stuck with Jelani, even to when he got older. And that is the reason why he chose speech pathology, to help people talk and to give voices for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I understand there's some new developments regarding his recovered iPhone and clothing. I wonder what you can tell us about that.
My mother had did a live and she spoke on this. The clothing were found, and we were able to make contact with the two young ladies that found the clothing.
Yeah, there was some nationwide coverage of Jelani's disappearance back in 2021. It took weeks. There was a comparison made at the time. This young white woman named Gabby Petito, who was reported missing and later found killed. That made national news within 48 hours of her disappearance. I wonder if you can talk about how difficult it's been to keep Jelani's name in public awareness.
It's been difficult because not only are we trying to make sure Jelani's name stay out there for public awareness, we're also dealing with the grief at the same time. So that has been a struggle on how to learn to live with this while still working to fight for justice every day. During that time when my brother had went missing, I believe Jelani went missing probably about 2 weeks before Gabby Petito had went missing. And although I do believe that her family should have got all the attention that they garnered for her, she deserved all of that. We just believe that my brother deserved just as much as attention as her as well. It has been a struggle trying to get Jelani's name out there on these public platforms. And it's just been that way, from the beginning. We have a little bit of news coverage, but it just was never enough, and it never equaled to the amount that Gabby received at that time. And we kind of felt very much slighted and very much pushed to the back, as if my brother wasn't as important as her for whatever reason we don't understand. Jelani was a good kid. Jelani was in college to get his master's. He wasn't involved in any gangs, or my brother's never been to jail. Jelani was a good kid, and it was just like they were focusing on trying to find things out about him versus looking for him. We just wanted the same attention that she was getting at that time, and we did not receive that.
Can you just talk about how this has changed your family?
Well, I'll start with me and my siblings. It has changed a little bit with Jelani's absence. We all have our own separate personalities. We all are how we are with each other. And him not being there just leaves a huge void in how we do things, how our group text is now versus how it used to be, how our group calls is how it used to be, just the memories of him. It's like always a daily reminder that he's not here whenever we get together. We were just that tight with each other. If you saw one, you saw somebody else not too far behind. And Jelani not being around just left a huge void in our siblingship. It has not been the same. And I think all of us are just trying to deal with the fact that it just will never be the same without him here.
That was Brian Mackey of the 21st Show talking with Dakara Bolden. Her younger brother, Illinois State grad student Jelani Day, vanished in August of 2021. His case remains a mystery. Brian also talked with Jelani's mother, Carmen Bolden Day, who was able to unlock his iPhone but unable to find any other clues in his disappearance. You can listen to that podcast at 21stshow.org or on the Illinois Public Media YouTube channel. And finally, in your forecast, meteorologist Andrew Pritchard says today will be mostly sunny with a high of 77 degrees. That's it for today. 2 and 7 Today is produced by Stephanie Mosqueda. Reporting today contributed by May Antar, Peter Medlin, Brian Mackey, and Reginald Hardwick. Music by the Kilbourne Alley Blues Band. Reginald Hardwick is our news director. I'm Kimberly Schofield. 2 and 7 Today is a production of Illinois Public Media. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.